Hey friends. Okay, so excuse the mess of the nursery right now. I'm in the process of like going through everything and getting everything ready for baby's arrival. So it's kind of a mess in here. I'm 35 weeks, 1 day today, which is insane. I'm recording this video like way after all of this has even happened. I am kind of recording it for myself, for my own purposes, so I can remember, and so our baby girl can come someday look back, like learn about her life story and how she got here, and the craziness that we had to go through. So I'm going to further explain everything that has transpired since our 20-week appointment. So here's my belly. 35 weeks, 1 day. She's huge. I am ready. I am ready to get her out of here, but she can stay in here as long as she wants to cook. So basically, in the last video that I should have posted, if I'm posting these all in the correct order, because I have so many that I need to upload, it's just a mess. So long ago looking back at it, but I had my 20-week appointment at my normal OBGYN. They told us that she had a 2-vessel cord. They tried to reassure us, that everything was fine. Mind you, COVID had just kind of blown up at this point. There were no people allowed in the room or in my doctor's office except for mom. There were no husbands, no spouses, no kids, nothing. So I had to go by myself to the appointment. So I was super bummed about it. So during the appointment, when she was doing my ultrasound at my regular OB, I just always have kind of felt like when they do the ultrasounds, they just kind of go fast. And so I felt like she was kind of taking a little longer than I thought she should. She didn't say anything because they're obviously not allowed to say anything. I noticed she was spending a lot of time, and from what I was looking, I thought I saw that the ultrasound tech was looking at her heart for a long period of time. So I was super, super nervous when my OB came in and like kind of recapped what she said, what the tech saw on my scan. And she informed me that baby had a 2-vessel cord. I was kind of freaked out. Like, of course I'm finding this out right now by myself. Like, this is terrible. After she explained to me what it meant, obviously I wasn't excited about it, but I wasn't like stressing about it. I think one of the risk factors is a premature labor, low birth weight, because they're not getting enough nutrients. Like, they're not getting enough as they usually should. It happens in 1% of pregnancies. I've actually heard of multiple people who have that type of cord now looking back, but being a first-time mom, hearing that stressed me out. They made an appointment for me to go to maternal fetal medicine, which is like a specialist here in town. It just meant that I had a more in-depth anatomy scan. I was like, okay, cool. Mind you, at my last appointment, I told you I thought I saw the ultrasound tech looking at her heart for an extended amount of time. So that's why when they said that there was one thing they found, I was worried it was going to be her heart. But no, so my doctor only told me that about her cord. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So I get to maternal fetal medicine, they do my whole scan, and I'm sitting in this conference room waiting. Again, I'm by myself. Paul was not allowed to go because of COVID. And the doctor comes in. I will say this doctor was the sweetest doctor in the world. She made me feel so cared for. She was just amazing. She knew like my whole medical history, which I've been to a lot of doctors for a lot of things, and this is the first time that a doctor actually like read over all my records, like knew other health issues that I've had. So she knew a ton, which was awesome. Like, I felt very like at peace when she came in and was like reviewing my medical history with me. But anyways, so she comes in the room and she's like, so I just wanted to go over what we found on the scan. She does have a 2-vessel cord. It's not just a 2-vessel cord, but the insertion of the cord, she called in layman's term, she said it's superficial, but the actual word is velamentous. I can't talk, you guys. Velamentous. Yes. Velamentous. Something along those lines. I'm going to insert here what it is. But yes, basically it means that her cord, usually the cord should be inserted into the placenta, like deeply into it, but hers, it's like superficially connected to the outside of the placenta, like on a membrane. So not only does she only have a 2-vessel cord, it's inserted on the outside. So it's even more like she's not getting as much as she should. So I was like, fantastic. I'm stressing out about that too. And then on top of that, she's like, and there's one other thing. And I'm like, please, what else could it be? She's like, she has what's called a VSD. Also gonna insert the definition of that here because I don't want to say it wrong. Basically a hole in her heart. I like was about to like have a full-on breakdown because I'm like, wait, excuse me, what? Like, I thought I was coming here for one thing, not all of this. I didn't think I was gonna walk into that. And I don't know if my regular OB, if the lady there when she was doing the ultrasound, if she thought she saw it. It's very possible. I don't know. They're not allowed to say anything, and my doctor didn't say anything. But I'm just glad they sent me to maternal fetal so they could get confirmation of this. So granted, I'm like stressing out because there's all these things that I'm finding out about my baby. I'm by myself and we're in the middle of a pandemic, okay? Like, I'm just stressing out. Not to mention, so my aunt that I'm named after, Patrice, she was named Patrice, that's where I got my middle name. She passed away from a hole in her heart. That was like years and years ago, 60 something years ago, when they didn't really know much and they weren't able to do much for things like that. But hearing that your daughter has a hole in her heart is stressful, especially with the history. I have a lot of history of heart issues in my family, and then my aunt. And so I was just stressed out. But like I said, the doctor was so awesome. She was like, you know, a lot of these heal themselves before the babies are born. You know, not every baby, but a lot of them heal themselves. And it's, you know, you shouldn't be too worried. Like, she's growing, she's doing just fine for now, so you shouldn't be too stressed about it. And, you know, I like really took her word for that. She really made a situation that I could have like been way more stressed out about. She made me a little more at peace, which was awesome. But the reason it was even more stressful was because she was talking to me about my own genetic history, without going into like an extreme detail of my own medical history. I have multiple autoimmune disorders, and so because of that, I have had genetic testing done. In like taking those tests, we've learned I have the genes for a few things that are very strange. One of which is a heart issue that it's called cardiomyopathy. So I have the gene for that. I have a gene for it's a very, 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 very rare form of dwarfism that I carry that gene, and it's so rare that it's very unlikely that Paul would have that gene as well. But the doctor just wanted us to be aware, you know, sometimes in babies that have these core defects and VSDs, there is some sort of genetic issues. I was stressing out because I'm like, what? We already did like genetic testing at the beginning and everything came back fine. Like, what? This is so crazy. But basically, she just had to tell me that, you know, like, you have this gene. I have 3 different ones. And the other one is, the other gene I have, it's for aortic aneurysm. Geez, I'm pregnancy brain, I tell you. So yeah, cardiomyopathy, heart issue, aortic aneurysm, heart, very not good. And then this rare form of dwarfism. So they found these 3 things when I had to go to the doctor for my genetic testing to figure out what was wrong with me and my health issues. But that's another story for another day. But anyway, so the doctor was just telling me, you know, this could be the case. Like maybe she has one of these things because you have these genetic disorders. Maybe your husband did, and maybe she just happens to have this. Just because you have a VSD and a core defect does not mean that there is a genetic issue, but they found that it correlates. So they just wanted us to be aware of it. So as you can assume, my mind was racing like a million miles a minute, like all these things that could be going on, and I was just extremely stressed about it. And I finally just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Baby's doing okay right now. I just need to take it one day at a time. I need to calm down. I need to just chill out. Like, it'll be fine. I think they scheduled us for another appointment, which is 4 weeks later. And so we went, they did another scan, a growth scan. They were doing the scan. It was a growth scan and a echocardiogram on her heart because they just wanted to like look at the VSD and make sure, you know, everything else was fine with her heart. And in the meantime, they sent me to have an echocardiogram again because of my heart issues. They wanted to make sure that my heart was looking okay and that I'd be okay for labor. So I went and got my echo done. I was fine. Everything looked good. And so then it was time for me to go back for her echo. And again, I was by myself because COVID. So they did the echocardiogram. I'm just like, okay, cool. Sitting in the little conference room, I had Paul on speakerphone waiting for the doctor to come in. And she comes in and she's like, she's growing perfectly. She looks great. And the hole is just gone. The VSD is gone. It's closed. And I was like, huh? what? Like, I've been stressed for a month. I know you told me that it could close before birth, but like the fact that it closed by like 24 weeks, like 4 weeks after it was even found, I was like, wait, what? Say that again? Like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, it's closed. Like, we couldn't see it. It's not there. I mean, it's just gone. And I was like, you know what? Like, God is so awesome. This is so cool. The most stressful time of my life, and poof, it's just gone. And I know that's not always the case for everybody. I know some people have babies that are born with the hole still in their heart and they have to have it closed. They have to do heart surgery, and I was prepared for that. I was prepared for that possibility, you know? And so for me to like stress about it for a month and then walk into this appointment and have her say that, I was just like, that, like, I couldn't have heard you correctly. That can't be true. But it was like that whole like span of time that we were stressing and just praying, and like a lot of other people were praying for her. It was just amazing that she was able to just be like, yeah, it's gone. And we've had multiple appointments since then, and everything still looks good, which is amazing. You know, it's not like it's super rare that hers closed, because that happens, but like with all the other health issues that I had and like the risk that she told us could possibly be present, like realizing that none of those things were the case, you know, and that she was okay and her heart was healed was awesome. She still has her 2-vessel cord. It's still not inserted correctly, so you know, she still has that issue, but she's huge. As you could see earlier, she's massive. I have no room left, so she's clearly growing like she should. I go back in a few weeks. That's my last appointment. It'll be 36 weeks when I go next time. So I'm excited for that, to see how much she's grown. But this has been a journey, man. Like, I never expected things to go this way, but I'm just very thankful for the blessings and the things that we weren't expecting to happen being resolved for the most part, you know, the things that we were at least most concerned about. I don't know, I kind of just wanted to share this because I know there's probably people out there who get the same news that I get, or the same news that we got, and they're probably stressing out and they're probably worried. And I know not every situation ends this way, but ours did, and I'm very thankful for that. And I just wanted you guys to know, like, if you're watching this and you found out that your baby has a VSD and whether there could be other complications, just know that they could be resolved and it could be awesome. And if they aren't, you know, that's okay too, and you just gotta go roll with the punches. And I've kind of realized that with this pregnancy, that everything is not gonna go as I thought it would, and I just have to be okay with that and go with the flow, as hard as that is, especially when it has to do with your child. As far as the genetic condition they said could be a possibility, which is super rare, like literally 30 people, and I think it was like in 2009, there was only 30 people who had this form of dwarfism. So I don't even know like how many people have it to this day, but that's all the information I could find. Like, that's how rare it is. Just based upon her arm and leg measurement, she's like in the 80th percentile for her arms and her legs. So they're like, we're not worried about dwarfism at all. She's got some long arms and long legs. As far as we know, everything's okay. Regardless, if she had any type of issue, we would love her the same, and we would deal with that as it came. And we're just thankful that, you know, she's okay. We love her so much, and we wouldn't trade her for the world. All the stress and all of the worry she's put us through has been so worth it. And I know this is only the beginning. I know it's probably gonna stress me out for the rest of my life, and that's okay, because she's worth it. I just wanted to record this to kind of recap like what happened since that appointment, because I kind of like abruptly ended the video. This is what happened after all of that. And this is not even to mention the other issues I had. There will be videos about that as well. It's been a crazy pregnancy, guys. But anyways, stay tuned for the videos that are to come. I think that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along on our journey. I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.